is it? Oh, Jack's get here.
Home of wool cushions. That's what we're talking about today.
We're excited to finally tell you about our new cushions and mattresses for the kids. First, we need to start with a little background.
We need to start at the beginning.
Back in 2017, when we were finishing up our renovation on this Airstream, we were just trying to get our cushions as cheaply as possible.
Yes, 6 months of crazy renovation. We needed to be done. We didn't want to overthink it. And we were a little over budget.
That led us to a foam store in Indiana. We purchased all of our foam for the kids' mattresses and this dinette for only $300, which was a steal.
We found somebody in Indiana close by who could actually create us custom covers. We bought some fabric and took it over to her, and she made it all magic, and it all worked perfectly. After several years, the foam started to compress a little bit. Things weren't as comfortable as they used to be, and we were just worried about the toxic side of it. We were worried about potential mold because we've been in a lot of not dry climates, especially this last year. We're up in Canada, a lot on the East Coast.
There's a lot of condensation.
Lots of condensation, which isn't usually the case for us because we like to stay out west where it's usually drier. But we noticed that was potentially an issue too.
Really, we were in need of new pillows, so that's where my search began because a friend of ours, Kate from the Streamlined Life, had told us about this company called Home of Wool. So I was like, well, we should just try out the pillows to see if we like wool pillows. So we ordered 2 standard pillows from Home of Wool with wool covers. What's cool about these is you can unzip the cover and you can adjust the wool however you want. If it's too much wool, you can take wool out, or you can fluff it up some more.
So we started looking into this whole wool thing, and it turns out it has lots of benefits that you wouldn't actually
What are the benefits,
realize.
Dave?
It's hypo allergenic, water repellent, mildew resistant, fire resistant, and it's also organic and sustainable. And finally, it regulates your body temperature. I don't know how this magic voodoo works, but apparently wool can keep you cool in the summer and warm in the winter.
I don't know how it can do both.
Wool has lots of very interesting benefits, but it's definitely not like your typical mattress that you would go down to the bed store and buy.
There's no bounce.
No bounce. It's very dense. They had to create everything for us completely custom because we don't have anything that's a standard size in the Airstream.
All I had to do was send measurements.
They have lots of options for not only the material that goes on the outside of the wool, but then covers and seams and tufting. Let's get into the nerdy details of what we ended up getting.
For the dinette, what we went with was 4-inch cushions. They are tufted, and they have, the best part is, a washable, removable cover. Yes. And they're 100% linen.
Yeah.
So they should last a lot longer than our others. And for the kids' beds, we went with another 4-inch mattress, and it's tufted, and we went with piping on the edges. With the mattresses, they have an option of buying a wool mattress protector. So we did do that for all of the beds, even the dinette.
Which is awesome because they cut it to fit our perfectly weird shape, and then it's got elastic bands around the corner, so you just pop it around the corner and everything stays flat. And I think it really helps too to keep the cushions from moving because it's pretty thick, and it provides like a nice texture so that everything kind of stays in place. Now, supposedly you said they can be waterproof. You have to analyze them. Also, there's the maintenance.
Okay. So maintenance for the mattresses. Home will send us directions, and it said to rotate them. How do we rotate? How do I explain?
Flip them this way and then flip them this way.
Flip them end to end and over. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes total sense.
Okay. We flip them every week for 2 months.
That just helps make sure that the wool gets sort of evenly distributed because it is going to compress too, like the foam would, but it's different.
Once a year, they recommend that you set the mattresses outside in the sun to air out, because the sun has like this natural magical cleaning ability.
Okay, let's talk questions, deep thoughts, pros, cons.
Is it comfortable?
Is it comfortable?
Yes. To me, it is super comfortable. Here's why. Because these 4 cushions that make up our table portion of our dinette are squished super close together. So that allows me not to fall in a crack at night.
For me, it's not quite as comfortable because it is so dense and it doesn't give. My shoulders and neck, they are not used to it yet. It may take a little bit longer.
It may be that, we've only had them not even 3 weeks yet.
Yeah.
So it may just be as they compress more.
And it's not like my back hurts all day. It's just in the morning I'm a little bit sore.
And that's how it was with the pillows. Like, it took us a while to get used to the pillows, and once we locked it in, it was like...
Yeah, it was
cool.
For the kids' beds, we actually went taller than they used to have, so they're all having issues hitting their head.
They're just not used to it.
Get in and out of the bed. And also
it's about an inch taller.
It's an inch taller, and so it hasn't compressed yet either because they're so new.
And I think it'll take a couple months for it to settle.
If you ask them, they're like, well, I just keep hitting my head. But they did say it's comfortable.
Theirs is a lot firmer than ours, and I like it a lot. I don't know if it has something to do with the piping and the tufting, because I think maybe that piping will keeps
it in the shape.
Yeah. I haven't heard any complaining.
No.
Other than they bumped their head.
Yeah.
Next question.
Does it smell?
It definitely smelled like a barnyard when we got it.
The first time we opened it, we're like, oh my goodness.
And that's to be expected. It's got wool in it.
It's made out of wool.
So yes, it did smell for a week?
Oh, I don't even think.
It may not have even been a week.
No, within the first couple of days, I didn't even notice it. When we say like a barnyard, it wasn't like...
It was like hay. It almost smelled like a hay.
Pleasant hay smell.
Yeah. But we just opened up the windows in the Airstream and let it air out. Yeah. No problem.
So it's good now.
Next question. Are they heavy? Yes.
Very.
And it's definitely something that we did not consider.
Yeah, I would not have thought it would have been that much heavier, but there's a huge difference. Would you recommend it?
I would recommend them to anybody who is worried about toxic bedding.
Yeah, since we've been in here the past 3 years, we've really started to think more about what are the things in here that are potentially not good for us. And the foam was probably the biggest thing that we're all, have our faces in when we're sleeping at night or we're sitting on, like we have constant contact with it all throughout the day. For that, I think that it's worth it. It's definitely...
It's an investment.
It's very expensive. It's definitely not like grabbing a cheap mattress.
But you're investing kind of in your house.
You're investing in your house. For us, we're investing in, this tiny, shiny home that we have. And even more than that, there is a level of quality and craftsmanship that I think we haven't talked about a whole lot yet that is just incredible. The details on the stitching and even like the zipper, these are incredibly well made. They're made in Bulgaria, and they're really doing like fantastic, amazing work. It's definitely not cheap. You get what you pay for.
For the price we paid and the quality, I feel like it's matched.
Yeah. And we're even working with them, and so they actually gave us a little bit of a discount for us to make this review and do some pictures and video and stuff, but it was still a significant investment. We would recommend it if those things are important to you, if the organic, non-toxic, sustainable, supporting small artisan businesses that are doing amazing work. If all that stuff is really important to you, definitely worth it.
And since we upgraded all of our new mattresses, we decided, did I decide?
You decided. Yeah.
We decided to get new bedding. Now, if you've been following us for a while, you probably noticed that the kids' bunks had Betty's bedding. And it was great. It was wonderful. Highly recommend them. However, we had one issue with the rogue dryer at a laundry. It melted our zippers.
Once we lost the one, we took the bottoms off of the other kids just so they match.
Yeah.
And we still had like the top pieces that we kept separated.
And just use a regular sheet on the bottom.
Yeah. So we
And
did
that
that
worked
for a
great.
while. Yeah.
And then we had a little accident with,
The puke.
so we upgraded the bedding. I found a company called Chamomile London, and it had the prettiest colors of quilts that I've ever seen.
They're very lightweight quilts, like thin
But heavy. And they're just really pretty. So the kids got to choose their colors. I wanted them to each have a different color,
But our kids have their own opinions.
but they
That's
have their own opinions, and I'm going to respect it. We ended up with 2 green and 2 yellow.
And then we got
a
blue.
Now, do you love that blue or what?
I do. It's a good blue. Wool cushions. Everything you ever wanted to know about wool cushions.
Unless we forgot something, which we may have. If you
so,
have any questions, please comment below and we'll do our best to answer them.
Absolutely. Make sure you go follow Home of Wool. Go check out all the awesome stuff that they make. And we'll talk to you soon. For a discount on your Home of Wool purchase, go to tinyshinyhome.com/homeofwool5 to get 5% off.